Hi, it's Tziporah here. In this video, I'm going to talk about emotional permanence. I'm going to explain what emotional permanence is, how it can affect someone, and how it is common with borderline personality disorder. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share how to overcome emotional permanence issues, so be sure to watch the whole video. Okay, so what is emotional permanence? Emotional permanence is our capacity to believe in the feelings and connections of other people when we are not physically with them. For example, it's to know that your friend or partner loves you even when you are not near them. A common emotional permanence issue is when someone feels unloved or abandoned when they're not with their friend or partner physically. Now, what helps us learn emotional permanence in childhood? Just as a baby learns object permanence with peekaboo and so on, so too does it need to learn emotional permanence. This is generally done with reassurance and emotional comfort and validation as a baby and child. So an example of this is that the baby is crying in the other room, so the mother comes in to comfort and reassure it, and then she leaves the room once the baby is settled. If this is done in a healthy and consistent way, a child learns that even when my mom isn't in the room or around me, I'm still loved and cared for and my emotions are still safe. This is then carried into adulthood when my loved ones are not physically with me. Healthy attachment and healthy detachment from the parents is very important for emotional permanence. It is also very important for establishing that secure connection to the internal avatars of our loved ones. Creating that internal avatar or internal representation of our loved ones is what helps with the emotional permanence and securely feeling those emotions. So what exactly makes us unable to achieve emotional permanence? If a child is neglected emotionally or physically, it fails to establish that secure connection to the internal avatar of those that we wish to connect with. Parents have to give consistent emotional validation and reassurance to a child in its formative years. Otherwise, it lacks the ability to contact those emotions securely and feel that the attachment is secure. This leads to insecure attachment. So the expression out of sight, out of mind is really translating here to out of sight, out of heart, which means it is not possible to recall the emotional connection without physically being present or having constant reassurance and reminders. This is also why a BPD person can frequently and anxiously seek that verbal reassurance of the emotional connection when they're not physically with their loved ones. What does it feel like to struggle with emotional permanence? It feels like neediness, anxiety, dread, and other very unpleasant emotions. It can contribute to the ability to split or doubt the safeness of relationships. And it definitely causes difficulties in maintaining healthy relationships, as many relationships, such as friendships, require time apart and living separate, busy lives. Lacking emotional permanence can also severely affect the BPD person's emotions in regards to an FP or a favorite person. I will explain what a favorite person is in another video, so be sure to watch out for that. So what does the struggle with emotional permanence look like or present as in a relationship? It might involve a lot of text communication, like checking in or asking if everything's okay, asking things like, are you mad at me? Do you still love me? Lots of reassuring type questions. It can even cause the BPD person to behave in unpleasant ways, such as irritation, aggression, or anger. This is because of the difficulty to connect with those pleasant or loving emotions when they're not physically with their loved ones. This means it can add to that push-pull type behavior, or they can be over the top when they get back physically present with their loved ones, and some even might become hypersexual. And of course, this would create a turbulent or intense relationship style. It can also come out as abandonment anxiety, like, if I leave you first, you can't leave me. So there's also even preemptive actions that could be involved with this emotional permanence struggle. So really, it can add to relationship sabotage, and it can be very confusing to our friends and partners. So how to overcome the struggles with emotional permanence? Working on how to communicate when one is feeling this emotional impermanence, learning emotional expression and emotion regulation, inner child work, self-validation, self-reassurance. Much of this is done through exercises that help understand self-worth and how lovable we actually are. Journaling or recalling moments with loved ones can help, but that only goes so deep when someone is truly struggling with emotional permanence. Because the validation from others is external, it can only help so much. So most of this work is done through inner self-work. And I want to encourage you that you can strengthen your ability to have a secure attachment and emotional permanence. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Subscribe for more content. We look forward to seeing you next time.